The golden age of Hollywood was filled with glamour, charm, and unforgettable stars. But not all of them earned their fame through talent alone. In this video, we'll uncover actors from Hollywood's golden age who were criticized for their lackluster acting skills, yet managed to captivate audiences and achieve stardom. From studio connections to dazzling looks and undeniable charisma, these stars rose to fame for reasons that had little to do with their craft. Curious who made the list? Stick around as we reveal the fascinating stories behind their rise to the top. Johnny Weissmuller, best known for his portrayal of Tarzan in the 1930s and 1940s, exemplifies how physical presence and public appeal could outweigh acting talent during Hollywood's golden age. Weissmuller, a five-time Olympic gold medalist in swimming, had little acting experience or range, but his athletic build, chiseled features, and ability to perform iconic jungle calls captivated audiences. Weissmuller's portrayal of Tarzan leaned heavily on his physicality rather than emotional depth or nuanced delivery. The simplistic and action-driven nature of the Tarzan films made his lack of acting skills less noticeable, as audiences were drawn to his commanding presence and the adventurous plots. His performance became iconic, cementing him as the definitive Tarzan of his time. Despite his limited acting ability, Weissmuller's fame as an athlete-turned-actor made him a household name, and he remained beloved for his contributions to the character. His career highlights how charisma and the right role could lead to stardom, even without traditional acting prowess. Dolores Del Rio, one of Hollywood's first Latina stars, captivated audiences in the 1920s and 1930s with her extraordinary beauty and exotic allure. While her acting skills were often considered limited in her early Hollywood films, her charm and screen presence were enough to secure her place among the era's most sought-after stars. Del Rio's early roles frequently leaned more on her looks than on her acting, with filmmakers casting her as the quintessential glamorous or exotic figure. Her performances sometimes lacked the emotional depth or versatility demanded by critics, but her magnetic presence made her unforgettable on screen. Despite the critiques, audiences were enchanted by her elegance and style, which helped her carve out a significant career during the Golden Age. As she matured in her career, Del Rio began taking on more complex roles, particularly in Mexican cinema, where she gained acclaim for her acting. Nonetheless, her early Hollywood stardom illustrates how physical beauty and charisma could often overshadow acting ability during Hollywood's Golden Age, securing fame for stars like Dolores Del Rio. Victor Mature, often nicknamed Beautiful but Wooden, epitomized the Golden Age actor whose career thrived more on looks and charisma than on acting skill. Known for his towering physique and rugged good looks, Mature became a go-to star for epic films, with notable performances in Samson and Delilah and The Robe. While critics frequently panned his acting as stiff and lacking depth, audiences found his screen presence captivating. Mature's roles often capitalized on his physicality, casting him as larger-than-life heroes or romantic leads. His charm and ability to command attention on screen made up for his limited range, and his willingness to take on iconic roles in biblical and historical epics ensured he stayed in demand. Despite the critiques, Mature himself had a sense of humor about his reputation. He once famously quipped that he was no actor, and I have 64 films to prove it. His self-awareness and likability added to his appeal, making him a unique figure in Hollywood's golden age, where looks and charisma could often outweigh traditional acting talent. Sanja Henning, a world-renowned figure skater with 3 Olympic gold medals, transitioned to Hollywood in the 1930s and quickly became one of the era's biggest box office draws. Her films, such as One in a Million and Thin Ice, showcased elaborate skating sequences that captivated audiences. However, Henning's acting skills were often critiqued as mediocre, with her performances relying more on her skating prowess and charm than on emotional depth or range. Henning's films were designed to highlight her athletic talent, featuring extravagant ice skating numbers that became her trademark. Her radiant smile and on-screen charisma helped her connect with audiences, allowing her to thrive in an industry where star power often mattered more than acting ability. Henning's undeniable appeal made her one of Hollywood's highest-paid stars during her peak. Although her acting career waned as the popularity of her skating films declined, Henning's impact as a cultural icon and her ability to parlay her athletic fame into Hollywood stardom solidified her legacy. She remains a prime example of how unique talents and marketable appeal could overshadow acting limitations in the golden age of Hollywood. Hedy Lamarr, often referred to as the most beautiful woman in the world, rose to fame in Hollywood's golden age largely due to her stunning looks rather than her acting prowess. While she delivered competent performances in films like Algiers and Samson and Delilah, critics often noted a lack of emotional depth and range in her work. Her striking beauty, however, captivated audiences and cemented her status as a Hollywood icon. Lamarr's on-screen roles frequently emphasized her allure, casting her as exotic seductresses or glamorous leads rather than complex characters requiring nuanced performances. Despite the critiques, her presence was magnetic, and her fame persisted due to the undeniable power of her image. Off-screen, Lamarr was a brilliant inventor, co-developing a frequency-hopping communication system that would later influence modern technologies like Wi-Fi. While her acting career was marked by mixed reviews, her combination of beauty, intelligence, and cultural impact made her one of the most fascinating figures of Hollywood's golden age. Esther Williams, known as the $1 Million Mermaid, became a Hollywood sensation in the 1940s and 1950s for her dazzling swimming and water ballet sequences rather than her acting skills. A champion swimmer turned actress, Williams starred in a series of aquatic-themed musicals that showcased her athletic prowess, such as Bathing Beauty and $1 Million Mermaid. These films were hugely popular and established her as a unique star. Critics often noted that Williams' acting was serviceable, but lacked the emotional depth or versatility seen in her contemporaries. However, her wholesome charm, radiant smile, and graceful presence in the elaborate water sequences captured the imagination of audiences. The visual spectacle of her films was often enough to overshadow the need for dramatic performances. Williams' career was a testament to how Hollywood capitalized on unique talents and star appeal. Her films brought a distinct flavor to the golden age, and while she may not have been celebrated as a dramatic actress, she carved out a lasting legacy as a one-of-a-kind entertainer. Tab Hunter, a 1950s heartthrob, rose to fame more for his all-American good looks and boyish charm than his acting ability. Known for his roles in films like Battle Cry and Damn Yankees, Hunter became a teen idol, adored by fans for his wholesome image and charisma. However, critics frequently described his acting as stiff and lacking depth, with his performances relying heavily on his physical appeal rather than dramatic skill. Despite these critiques, Hunter's popularity soared during the height of his career, driven by a carefully crafted public persona and his crossover success as a pop singer, with hits like Yum Love. His presence in Hollywood exemplified the era's tendency to prioritize image and marketability over acting talent. Hunter's career faced challenges as the studio system declined and public tastes shifted, but he remained a beloved figure in Hollywood history. His story highlights how star power and looks could propel actors to fame during the golden age, even without strong critical acclaim. Jane Russell, one of Hollywood's most sultry stars, rose to fame largely due to her striking looks and magnetic screen presence rather than her acting prowess. Her breakout role in The Outlaw, 1943, produced by Howard Hughes, showcased her as a provocative figure, with the film's marketing heavily focused on her physical appeal. While Russell delivered competent performances, critics often noted her limited acting range, with her roles typically emphasizing her allure over emotional complexity. Despite these critiques, Russell became a Hollywood icon, starring in hits like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes alongside Marilyn Monroe. Her confident demeanor and undeniable charisma made her a favorite among audiences, and she successfully carved out a niche as a glamorous and self-assured leading lady. Russell's legacy endures as a symbol of classic Hollywood glamour, demonstrating how sex appeal and star power could eclipse acting range in the golden age of Hollywood. Her ability to command attention on screen ensured her lasting impact on the film industry. Clara Bose, the original It Girl, captivated audiences in the 1920s with her infectious energy and undeniable charisma. She became the epitome of the flapper era, with roles in films like It and Wings, showcasing her vivacious personality and magnetic screen presence. However, critics at the time often noted that her acting could be overly exaggerated, even by the standards of silent cinema. relying heavily on broad gestures and facial expressions. Despite these critiques, Bose's ability to connect with audiences made her one of the biggest stars of her time. Her relatability and appeal as a modern, carefree woman resonated deeply, making her an icon of the jazz age. When talkies arrived, however, her thick Brooklyn accent and personal struggles posed challenges, hastening her retirement. Bose's legacy as a Hollywood legend remains intact, not for technical acting skill, but for her trailblazing role as a star who defined an era. Her charisma and influence left an indelible mark on the film industry. Rudy Vallee, originally a popular crooner and radio personality, made the transition to Hollywood in the 1930s, but his acting career was met with mixed reviews. Known for his smooth, charming voice, Vallee's performances on screen were often described as awkward and lacking in natural acting ability. His on-screen presence, while charismatic, sometimes seemed stiff, and critics found his performances less convincing compared to other stars of the era. Despite these acting shortcomings, Vallee's fame as a singer and radio star ensured that he was a Hollywood draw, with audiences flocking to see him on the big screen due to his existing popularity. His films often capitalized on his musical talents rather than his acting skills, with many of his roles highlighting his singing ability. While his acting career didn't reach the heights of his musical success, Vallee's star power in multiple entertainment fields allowed him to remain a beloved figure in Hollywood. His story underscores how fame in one area of entertainment could pave the way for success in another, even if acting talent wasn't necessarily the primary factor.